In this video, I'm going to be walking you through exactly how to use AI to generate marketing videos that you can plug into advertising campaigns for yourself or for clients if you're an agency owner. And this is a video that I produced and that I've ran hundreds of pounds worth of ad spend to date. And let me tell you something, I have literally been shocked because it has nearly doubled click-through rate on one of our own offers. And for me, creating this amazing video was one part of it, but actually getting results that I can share with you guys to see the power of this in action. Can it actually generate more traffic? Just to put that into context, if you've got advertising out there right now, which is doing a certain run rate of click-through rate, and you get an AI video into your marketing campaigns or multiple AI videos, and if they double your click-through rate, you're essentially doubling the traffic coming to your offer page, your website, whatever the brand is that you have or the agency is that you run. You're doubling traffic. Now, this is a great example I'm going to show you guys. Look, after watching this video, if you don't feel it, if you're like, nah, it's all right, it's not all that, skip ahead. But if you do like the video, I'm going to break down exactly every single part of this process that I've used personally, that I've learned personally, so that you guys can skip ahead and start creating amazing marketing videos using AI without the need of having to set up massive shoots, hire videographers, hire creators, hire presenters, editing process, all the time. Without further ado, let me jump into the video.
I left my job to chase building an agency. Turns out, I just built myself a different kind of trap. My mates, they've got the steady job, the company socials, the holidays. I started my own agency to prove something. I just don't know to who anymore. When I signed my first client, I wiped my credit cards clean, took mum out, and I felt like I was winning. I learned how to run ads, clients started coming in, referrals too, but for every new one, another would drop off. Every freelancer I hire either ends up ghosting or drops the ball, so I step back on the service delivery. Again and again, I'm pulling in £10,000 to £15,000 some months, but after fees, tools, flaky freelancers, maybe even a cheeky refund request, I end up with a wage. And if I walk away now, I've not just lost a few clients, I've admitted I bottled it, and I'll end up doing what I love, marketing for someone who just probably stuck it out longer than me. I don't care about six-figure months anymore. I want peace of mind, profit I can actually use, a team I can trust, people who get it, because it's not just the agency that's burnt out, it's me.
Right, so that whole video that you've just watched is now an advertisement which is getting almost double the click-through rate, and I've got a screenshot to share with you. And in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how to produce a video to that quality to almost double the traffic if you get it right, and if you get your target demographic right, to your offer, to your brand, to your sales page, right? So let's just break it down. I'm just going to go through this as quickly as I can because I know time is of the essence. But look, if you're feeling that video, I'm telling you, it's nearly doubled click-through rate. That means double the traffic on one of our own offers. Of course, it's for agency owners. It's about our community, the Start and Scale partnership, bringing together the best marketers and agency owners in the UK. Let's get into how to actually do this. So the tools that I've combined for this, AI filmmaking for ads, Kling AI, ChatGPT, Sora, Elevenlabs, and CapCut. Okay, now it looks more overwhelming than it is, but I'm going to break down exactly which ones I've used and how I've used them. Let's just zoom this in a little bit more. As you can see here, guys, so we've got two campaigns. This is the AI video that's been generated. This is just a normal campaign that we run, you know, an evergreen campaign. Right here, almost £1 a click, 2.37% click-through rate. Here, we're getting 54 pence per click, 3.7. We're nearly at double. And since the last time I checked, I took this yesterday when I took the screenshot. Since the last time I've checked, that's jumped up again. So again, the power of this is, first of all, time saving, not having to get presenters, scriptwriters, copywriters, videographers, studio, all of the things you'd have to do to shoot this in real life. We can now just generate it through AI and we can try and make it as hyper realistic as possible. I'm super passionate. I've been geeking out on this. Honestly, I'm a nerd when it comes to technology. I'm a nerd when it comes to media production. Any of you guys who are here that know me, you'd know I'm a big film fanatic. So I did a media degree. I love watching films. I love looking at films and how the sound design is, which is what my degree was in. And just how it moves people, the emotion in film. So being able to now generate scripts and to put together films that I can use in ads is like a dream come true. And this process, initially I was building it out for my internal team. One of my team members is now going to start churning this out at a higher volume than obviously I have the time to do. But I want to share it with you so you can use it in your own campaigns. This is the potential. Double the traffic. That's what we're talking about here. So let's jump into it. Process. First thing you're going to need is you're going to need an idea. You're going to need an angle. That would start with the customer that you're trying to build common ground with, right? Trying to show that customer that you understand. Now, there's so many ways to do it. I'm just going to focus on the way that I've done it in this example. So you start with an avatar. So a very simple avatar. You don't even have to do an empathy map for all you amazing marketers out there who know what one of those is. Age, gender, location, and look. Age obvious, gender obvious, location because you want to think about what their accent's going to be if the video's in their voice. And then also the look, right? What's the look that can be relatable? What do, in this example, marketers look like? Who is my main customer when it comes to the agency partnership? I've got tons of data on our clients, and of course, I've got tons more data on all the inquiries and leads we generate from our ads, the main thing being the pain points. So that leads us into the script nicely. If you are getting application forms for your offer filled out and you have a question about what the biggest challenge is, what's the biggest roadblock, the biggest bottleneck, and then you take all that data and you dump that into this process, this scripting process, which again is completely AI generated, right? And I'm going to give you the tool that I've used and that we're using day in, day out for all of our client shoots, all of our client scripts, which we're still doing, by the way. You dump all of that data from your client questionnaires into this process, man, just watch it make the magic. Watch it make the magic, I'm telling you. Okay, so the first tool that we are using is the DAP Storybot. It's called the DAP Storybot. Danny Allen Page is the guy who created this. Unbelievable marketer. Definitely go and search him up, check him out. But the way that he's trained this bot, and I'll leave the link in the description for you guys. I'm sure he'd be happy that more people are using it. This is what it came out with in terms of how have you been trained to format videos when you are generating scripts through the bot, right? The DAP Storybot. So it's built for short form viral content. It's been trained on tons and tons of transcripts of some of the most viral videos, hundreds of viral videos from what I've been told. And then it's all come into one formula. And this is the formula. So you start with a hook, of course, grab attention immediately, use a visual or a line that stops the scroll. This is me after unbelievable moment. I almost blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to waste time just reading through this. If you want to read through these examples, just click. But forget clicking and pausing. Go and use the damn thing after you see this video, right? Go and generate something. Go and show the world how great your ideas can be. Because as much as you use AI for this process, you still need some angles, you still need some creativity. It's not going to be AI that takes over everything right now. It's going to be the AI operators who are going to take over everything. Become an AI operator, understand this technology, understand the leverage it gives you. Next is the stakes. So why should the viewer care? Next is the journey, so the meat of your story, major obstacles or turning points, emotions, setbacks, doubts, and one unexpected twist. Keep it raw, real, first person. And last but not least is the resolution and lesson. So how did it end? What did you learn? What was the end of that entire process? And when you tie that back into the video that I've just shown you, right? So we've got, I called him Toby. I named him, I made him real, my avatar. Always give your avatars a name if you don't already. So I made his name Toby. He's in his late 20s, he's a marketer. He has been going up and down with his revenue. He's been doing well some months, falling off other months. And, I'm sure I can relate to that, in the beginning of my journey. I'm sure many of you can relate to that. Toby is your typical marketer who didn't want to go the conventional route. He started his own agency. He's trying to break through that certain revenue barrier. But for Toby, he's hiring freelancers. They let him down. How many times do I hear this story? All the time. I've been let down all the time. So it's like Toby's not gone the conventional route. He's seen his mates. His mates are all, working for these big companies. He looks at them as sellouts, Toby does. And he doesn't envy them, but he feels like he's not sure why he's on this journey still, because he hasn't reached his potential. He still hasn't got to that top of the mountain moment where he feels like, yeah, I made the right decision, I'm smashing it, right? So how did I get to that script? I dropped in to the DAP Storybot all of the pain points of marketing agency owners, marketers, freelancers that apply for the Start and Scale partnership. And then I dumped them in there and I said, give me a story about a guy called Toby who's in his late 20s. And then it started churning out different scripts. Of course, I didn't just go with the first one I had. But then after some tweaking, look, the DAP Storybot's great. It'll get you around 90% of where you want to be, 80% at worst case. You make some tweaks to the language, you make some tweaks to the structure of it, make it more accurate. This is where that layer of creativity that's in your head comes to life as a marketer, as a creative, as a brand owner, whoever you are, right? Again, I'm trying to jump into this so it's as punchy as possible. That gives you your script. Next, you're going to go over to Elevenlabs and you can get multiple generations for free, by the way, if you've never used it before. And you're going to import the edited script into Elevenlabs. You're going to create spacing. You're going to play with the voice settings here on the right-hand side. And you're going to look at what kind of voice does this person have based on their location. So I wanted a male, UK. This was the closest to a younger kind of male that I was looking at, trying to give the voice of Toby to. And it absolutely smashed it, right, in my opinion. Now, there are loads of other voice generation tools, but now look at how fast this is evolving, right? This is the power, this is the incredible part about it. I've gone and I've created an avatar. I've gone and got all my customers' pain points. I've dumped them into a chatbot. That chatbot has churned out an amazing script in a specific format that I've just walked you through. From there, we're now going and getting a voiceover, which is going to be the narration of the entire video that we're going to use for this video ad, right? That's going to be all based around the customer pain points that we have heard from them themselves. You see how great this is? Oh my goodness. Right, next we go into something that I created. Okay, Big Daddy Branch is actually jumping into the AI assistant, the chat tool building system. PromptCraft is a custom GPT that I have built for a specific purpose. So one of the things that I struggled with when I started using these AI tools was actually doing solid prompts to generate the most accurate image of what's in my head onto the actual desktop or the laptop that I'm using. So I knew I needed to work on my prompts. In AI, your answers and your outputs are only as good as the inputs you put in there. And the level of detail you can go into only strengthens what the result is in terms of accuracy and creativity for what you want. So if there's anything that you need to learn from this whole process, it's how to prompt. Now, I went and bought a course. So I got hit with some ads, bought this little PDF course, and I can't remember the creator. Honestly, I'm gonna try and credit them below. But I literally took all those PDFs, because there were multiple PDFs, and I'm like, yo, this is intense. I need someone to walk me through this. Who's got the time, right? And I dumped them all into PromptCraft and started training PromptCraft on not just generating me the best prompts for the image generations I want, but also generating me the best prompts for the video generations once I've got that image. So I knew I needed a tool like this, and I'm gonna give it to you guys for free. I don't care. Honestly, I just want you guys to use it. It's so powerful. It's freaking incredible. I'm going to drop it down below. If you want it actually, just drop in the comments PromptCraft. I might just send it you personally. I'm making it open source. Anyway, haven't decided yet, as you can tell. But anyway, PromptCraft is going to ask you all the questions, right, on different elements of what you need to give it the best possible prompt to generate the best possible output, image and video. So how it works, to generate videos, you need to start with images. So you need to start with your images. This AI that I've trained is going to ask you about the subject, so what the image focuses on, the environment, the setting or background, but it goes layers deeper than that. The lighting, natural, studio, cinematic, it's got so many options that, as somebody who's not a videographer, you'd think, wow, I never even considered that. The mood, what's the vibe you're trying to give off? The style, is it photorealistic? Is it anime? Is it watercolor? The camera angle and the lens types. Wow, ChatGPT will ask you, PromptCraft AI will ask you, what type of lens should this be shot on? And it will make suggestions based on the vibe and the output you're trying to create. Because who knows lenses? I'm not a videographer, I don't know lenses, but chat knows every lens that was ever invented, and it will suggest the best one to you. And then out of that, you're gonna get an amazing prompt, and then it will say, do you want me to generate the image? Oh my goodness, PromptCraft AI, ladies and gents. And this is what you get. You'll get these images generated, right, from your amazing prompts. And then from these amazing prompts, you take that and get a video prompt, and then it will show exactly what you're trying to produce here. Now, you can see the similarities in the character, the hair, the dress, the glasses. Rendering a video and making sure your avatar stays consistent has probably been the biggest challenge for building this ad that I've built. I feel like I got close enough where the voice, the environment, the angle changes, everything happens so quickly, people will just naturally believe it's the person that's been consistent throughout. However, it could be a little bit better, nothing's perfect. But look at this, this was completely made up. Toby's made up. This is him looking at his vision board, throwing things off. Of course, it made it a little less realistic because all of this paper's flying about. But I don't mind that. There's no hiding that this is an AI video. It's creative, it's scroll stopping, it's engaging, so many moving elements. I loved it. This part here is what got me though, guys. Like, let's not undervalue the level of detail. Let's look at the colleagues in the back. No distortion. No crazy business, no cartoon features. That comes into something called the negative prompt, by the way, which I'm going to touch on. But yeah, this is what you can achieve just with the PromptCraft AI. Feeding it what you want. It will tell you how to achieve it. And it will also guide you on what kind of vibe, what kind of mood you're trying to achieve. So then we take those image prompts and we put them into Kling AI or Sora. Now I use both for this video, and I'm gonna replay the video after I've gone through the whole tutorial. But here's an example of the level of detail, guys. I'll read one of them just because I'm proud of what this is churning out. So, PromptCraft example, a hyper-real video of a young male marketer in his 20s, matching the appearance of the attached photo, but now dressed in a collared shirt and jumper, seated at a desk inside a bustling corporate agency, captured in a 3/4 frontal angle. The camera performs a slow cinematic dolly in through a large open plan office. The subject wears a tired, restrained expression as he works on a laptop. Around him, a lively and collaborative team of social media marketers of various ethnicities interact enthusiastically, highlighting his emotional disconnection. Are you seeing this, guys? There's no way I'm writing that. There's no way without support I'm getting to a prompt of that level. This is what I've built using the course that I bought. All that information, plug it in, ask you the questions, get the most amazing Unreal prompt. The space is lit by cool corporate fluorescent lighting, emphasizing the sterile tone. Rich textures include visible skin pores, stubble, fabric weave, fingerprints on the screen, and a realistic desk clutter. The scene is color graded in a muted cinematic tones. It ends with a close-up on the subject's face, silent, reflective, non-looping. Bada bing, bada boom. You're not gonna write that. I don't care who you are. You might be the most amazing copywriter, filmmaker. You are not prompting anywhere as strong as this without this tool. You're welcome. You're welcome. Subject focus, movement type, framing, camera style, lighting quality, texture details, background style, color treatment, style, vibe, looping or not, negative prompt. Now, I mentioned the negative prompt. You can have the most solid initial prompt. You also have to, especially in Sora and Kling, tell it exactly what you don't want. I don't want cartoon, I don't want distortion, I don't want unrealistic, blah, 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 right? That's where we're going. That's where we're going. You need a positive prompt and a negative prompt if you look at it like that. Reference image, video prompt, video generation. Now, let's talk about generation. So normally you get two options, 5 seconds or 10 seconds. Kling is a paid platform, by the way. You're gonna pay for credits. So this video cost me a bit of dough. It's gonna cost you a few credits. Sora costs you as well. It's more of a subscription. If I had to choose between Kling and Sora, by the way, just to save you some time, I'm taking Kling all day long. Kling, Kling, Kling AI. Over Sora all day long. Now, that's not to say we haven't used some of the Sora stuff. It did churn out some good stuff. But here's just an overview in CapCut of what that looked like. So we've got the voiceover underneath. We trimmed a bit of time in between things, play with the spacing, the voicing. We've got all of these generations, guys. You know, all of these overlays, these generations. This right here is your captions. So the captions weren't AI generated. We did those manually. These are all the short form clips. And again, if you're a good advertiser, you know scene changes. You know each line, change the scene, change the background. Use text and a black backdrop to break things up, to give yourself some space. Pretty proud of this stuff, guys. I love it. I absolutely love it. 5 to 10 second generations, as I said. You piece them together, add music, add captions, and it's ready. It's ready to go, man. Let's make some ads. Softwares, ChatGPT, Storybot, and PromptCraft. Both will be linked below. Drop a comment, and I'll make sure it gets to you sooner than anywhere else. Kling AI, Sora, Elevenlabs, CapCut. Process, Avatar, Storybot script, PromptCraft for image references, PromptCraft for video prompts, Kling and Sora for generations, CapCut for sequencing, captions, and music. And next steps, guys, go and create. The tools are changing and things are. Now, at the moment I'm recording this video, Google have just dropped Flow, right? That is looking crazy in terms of it bringing everything together, including giving dialogue, realistically lip syncing and giving dialogue to the most insane renders I've ever seen. Even if Kling AI and Sora fall off, PromptCraft, the scripting, all of that stuff is still going to be relevant, just to a different video generation output. So still use all these tools, I know I will be, and plug it into Flow if it's available. I know it's only available in the US, not available in the UK right now, trying to figure out the VPN to kind of bypass that, get my AI fix for the day for video generation. But honestly, this is the process. And just to remind you guys of, kind of exactly what this produced, now you have context of it. Let's just zoom out a little. Watch it back. You can see it all in action now.
I left my job to chase building an agency. Turns out, I just built myself a different kind of trap. My mates, they've got the steady job, the company socials, the holidays. I started my own agency to prove something. I just don't know to who anymore. When I signed my first client, I wiped my credit cards clean, took mum out, and I felt like I was winning. I learned how to run ads. Clients started coming in, referrals too, but for every new one, another would drop off. Every freelancer I hire either ends up ghosting or drops the ball, so I step back on the service delivery. Again and again, I'm pulling in £10,000 to £15,000 some months, but after fees, tools, flaky freelancers, maybe even a cheeky refund request, I end up with a wage. And if I walk away now, I've not just lost a few clients, I've admitted I bottled it, and I'll end up doing what I love, marketing for someone who just probably stuck it out longer than me. I don't care about six-figure months anymore. I want peace of mind, profit I can actually use, a team I can trust, people who get it, because it's not just the agency that's burnt out, it's me.
Right, there you saw it. Guys, as I've mentioned, as you've seen, I run an agency community, a partnership community. The link's down below if you want to check it out. In the community, I'm dropping in-depth walkthroughs of every single one of these elements. So if you're looking at how do you leverage this for clients, if you're an agency or a marketer, all of that information, it is in the partnership program. And that is the level of detail that we're doing. That's the level of forward thinking that I'm applying to the partnership program. And that's the power of having the community. It's the best marketers that we can find, all getting results for clients, all growing their agencies off the back of great work. If you are one of the best people you know at getting results for clients, and you might have a few challenges that just need to be fixed in order to get to the next level, click the link below, lets.startandscale.io/partnership. And if you're new to the channel, guys, there's my cheap plug. Yo, link. But if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, hit subscribe. I'm going to be putting as much info out there as I possibly can for you guys as it happens live. I hope you go and take this information, generate some sick ads, go and kill your CTR, double, triple the traffic to your site, to your client sites, whoever you are, smash it up, bada bing, bada boom. See you in the next one.